now to Strike of the Week, which this week is going to be focusing on the recent strike at Sage Nursing Home from the UVW members. So I want to thank colleagues for joining us, and I want to start by sending solidarity to all the UVW strikers at Sage Nursing Home. And if I can introduce Naomi, Bella, and hopefully Molly to join us. Good evening to everyone. I hope you're well. Thank you very much for coming along. I want to get straight into it. I want to know more about your dispute. It looks incredibly exciting from social media, amazing picket lines and great videos and pictures. So I come to any of you first, really, but I really want to know about what is your strike about, who's on strike, and I mean, what is it all about, so that other people that maybe have not seen it can understand it a bit better. I'll come to any of you first. Please chip in. Thank you very much.
Naomi, do you want to start us off by telling us who's involved in the strike and what we're striking for?
Yeah, I'm Naomi. I'm working at Sage for almost 8 years. We are working in a poverty wages. At the moment, we have got poor terms and conditions. We don't have boys at work. We are asking for £12 per hour. We are asking for annual leave, sick pay, the same as NHS. We are asking for recognize our union principle. Domestic staff, laundry staff, care workers, maintenance staff are on a strike. We had the first strike last week from 15 to 17. We have a social distance from the picket line. We had a lot of PPE in front of Sage after trying to negotiate with them for 7 months.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It's great to hear more about how the dispute seems to be the entire workforce united. I think that's fantastic. Bella, have you got anything to add about the strike that's going on at the moment?
Yes, definitely.
Fantastic. Great.
Okay, thank you. Yes, my name is Bella. I need to say that I work at Sage Nursing Home, but sadly, I no longer work there because I have a number of issues, and some of which I'm going to speak about today. But I'm here supporting my colleagues at Sage and the strike action, because I think this is not only for carers, this is for a movement, this is to change many things around this country and the world. And then they have my full support, always. So, in Sage, when I was there, I saw many injustices, abuses, and discrimination. I fought alone, but thanks to the advice of an organization, I voluntarily decided to join a union. Some of our colleagues started to talk about precarious working conditions and the hard work we did. So we decided to support each other, but we needed a strong support. So I told them about my union, United Voices of the World, UVW, and they voluntarily decided to join. And so this history begins starting when the pandemic at the same time, because we were putting our lives and those of our families at risk. During this time, I really was so angry about the conditions and lack of protection on top of the issues with pay. At the beginning of the pandemic, we don't receive the proper PPE. In my case, to make sure we have the minimum protection, I start making homemade my face shield with elastic from my leggings and laminate paper. And I share it between my colleagues to try and make sure we had at least some protection. And then this time was very hard for us. And for me, at the moment, it's very important to talk about the sick pay, because this is a special point that is very important, because they only receive statutory sick pay. And even the free 3 days, they didn't receive anything. And then in my experience, when I was in Sage, my colleagues suspected they went to work with the virus, but they couldn't isolate. They couldn't take time off work because they couldn't afford to pay the bills. So how many lives will we have saved if they had full sick pay from the beginning of the pandemic? And then you need to pay your bills. And then even if you're not feel okay, you must have to go to work. And then I think this is time to fight about full sick pay, because the staff, they are real heroes. Even we are not talking about only about carers. They are together, carers, domestic, maintenance, it doesn't matter. We are all together. And then for me, it's very important. I am really disappointed because our bosses always ignore us. If you write a letter, if you say something, they always ignore us. And then we want to recognize our union. I'm still waiting for many answers about complaints and things and grievance, but I'm still waiting. And I think it's very, very important to tell the people that we need the support. And anyway, thank you, for example, for this time, because we got the support. I feel like this is a special moment. And probably COVID was very difficult, but the good point is the COVID showed the country how important these precarious workers are. And they are really real heroes, and they deserve better conditions at work.
Well, I couldn't agree more, and that's what Strike Map's been all about. It's fantastic to hear from you, Bella. Thank you for that, and Naomi as well. I think it's really important to everyone to hear about the extent of the workforce together, about the list of demands, which seem to me on the surface as basic demands people should have at work, especially with the incredibly important work that everyone who's at Sage Nursing Home is doing at this time. So absolutely, we're with you and solidarity to you. I guess Naomi or Molly, if you want to speak, please come in. But I guess, what has the support been like from the rest of the trade union movement and from other people? From what I see, it's been good, but it'd be interesting to know from you as those involved in the strike, what that's been like.
I would like to speak about it. The support has been incredible because we have over 70,000 people signing our change petition. We have 100 of people donating in our fund, strike funds, and we have many hundred of people attended our meetings, ballet meetings. And we got a lot of invitations for meetings, and we have a lot of media cover as well. It is very hard to speak because because of condition existing in Sage. Some care homes and they might have better, but in a sector we have something need to be changed. And during the pandemic, we can realize that have been a lot of support for bringing, about this change. With the very important, it is very important for us, to have that support. Otherwise, we cannot go on. So if we don't have this support, we can just have to stop. That's right. Because of this, because all the support, we need to keep going. That's it. Thank you.
Just to add to that, I think it's amazing. Well, it's amazing, this workforce, bearing in mind that it was during the first lockdown that everybody got unionized. The union didn't have access to meet face to face, and it was all kind of done on Zoom and over the phone. And it's a lot harder to build trust and relationships and confidence. But I think something that maybe people underestimate about care workers, and what this employer is certainly underestimated about these kinds of workers, is their strength. Like the care work and working in these environments takes a huge amount of bravery, huge amount of physical strength, and a huge amount of emotional resilience. And those are the kind of ingredients you need to be successful in a dispute. And so it's an incredibly strong group. And like Naomi was saying, the support has been overwhelming, and it's very sad that it's taken a pandemic to see how important this work is. But people are starting to see that we need to take care of our care workers, and not just the carers, but the people working in the care home and taking care of our loved ones. And really, this dispute is about care. We can't be taking care of our grandparents, our parents, if the people who are looking after them are in poverty and aren't covered for sickness and could be taking not just COVID, but other infections into work, or could be trying to lift residents when they're recovering from surgery or from kind of muscular problems. So really, if we want our loved ones in the UK to be looked after in their last years, then we need to change conditions in the care sector, and we need to look after our care workers.
Thanks, Molly. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. We just heard from Chris and Vendor about how technology has been used to organise during this period and how important that's been. But you're absolutely right. It's much harder to build those relationships, and hopefully we can get through this pandemic and combine what we've learned through the embrace of technology with other traditional methods of organising and build those relationships that by now I imagine are incredibly strong and sound fantastic. I guess to come to you, Bella, what can people do to show solidarity with this strike? What actions can people take? Because a lot of people will want to support you, and people may be watching tonight, they go, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the end of this, hear what Bella's got to say, and then I'm going to find out how I can help the UVW strikers. So what can people concretely do, Bella? Could you just explain to us? Thanks.
Yes, please. Basically, I am giving all my full support to SAGE workers, but I ask you to support my colleagues at SAGE that they need donate to the strike fund. It's very important, definitely. Write to SAGE, share the information in media. You know, we are, at the moment we have videos, a lot of information, and we are sharing it in media. UVW have the page in Facebook, and then we need to share everything. But I'm really happy if you write to the board, to the trustees, to tell them, and this is a very big support, because at the moment, if we are, our round number 2 is on Thursday 4th until 8th of February. And then, you know, with the lockdown, probably we can't go there, but definitely we need the support, because this is the time, this is the moment. And I want to add something. I know we are, SAGE, they are asking for £12 per hour, full sick pay, annual leave. But you know what? It's not only about money, it's about respect, dignity, and equality. Because if you respect that kind of staff, is when that people is living in good conditions. But if they are living in poverty wages, and then we are not talking about respect and dignity and equality. Even that our trustees, they are billionaire, and then they have a good reputation in the community. And then the excuse always is they are a charity, but it doesn't matter, because it's charity doesn't mean that I have to live in the poverty. And then please, 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 we need the support, and thank you very much for all you are doing today for us.
Thank you very much. And just to say, I hope that some colleague has or will be adding those new strike dates to our map, because we'll proudly show that your next set of days and actions. So thank you very much for letting us know about this incredibly important dispute. Strike Map UK knows which side it's on, and it's on the side of the UVW strikers. And I'm sure everyone watching sends their solidarity to us. So thank you all for coming. It's been great to speak to you, Bella, Naomi, and Molly. Thank you very much. For those interested in reading more about that dispute, we have a story on our Strike Stories column. So please go to the Strike Map, go to Strike Stories, and read more from another striker about that dispute and how important it is. And please take those actions that were noted earlier and support those UVW strikers. And solidarity